Hey guys, what's up? It's your favorite one of the good ones. And today I want to talk about being the model minority. And before I get started, let me be absolutely clear cuz I already know there are going to be some people that will not even finish the entire video and accuse me of saying stuff that I never said. Um and let me just say that, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to overcome your circumstances, that, you should just be what society thinks your group of people is gonna be. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm just, when people talk about the model minority, they're more so talking about, the double standard of expectations between the majority group and the model minority. Um, yeah, so I mean, I consider myself in some sense to be a model minority, at least not in the sense that, I have my entire life figured out, just that, I'm part of a few minorities, Latinos and disabled people, and like I'm significantly more educated than both those groups. Um Even the light skinned ones like myself. Um and even a lot of the less severe, quote unquote, less severe physical disabilities and neurodivergencies. Um, and yeah, I mean, what can I say, guys? Um, it's honestly so hard, and again, it's not because I don't think Latinos shouldn't pursue higher education or something like that, or disabled people shouldn't try to overcome. Of course, I think that. But the thing is, there's just so much pressure on us to. It's unrealistic. It's an unrealistic expectation and pressure that we outperform, that we overcome our um um circumstances, for the benefit of typically white able bodied people, or, you know, and I mean that as a cultural term because obviously, duh, look at me. Uh, Once again, yeah, I'm mixed, but I don't look it. But I just mean wider WASP, white Anglo Saxon Protestant culture. Um, and yeah, guys, I mean, um, what I mean by that is that no one complains about Brad having a retail job, or or renting out a space. I mean, maybe boomers do. I have heard boomers that do that, but it's at least not the same as when, let's say, Jorge, you know who works a construction job or whatever. People say, "Oh, well, you should do better. You should get your documentation, bro. Just move if you don't like it, bro." It's like, it's not that simple, man. Um, we have to work 10 times harder to get things that are like easier for other groups to get, especially the disabled, man. And again, you know that I'm not taking it lying down. I've advocated for separatism, disabled separatism on this channel. But that won't come until the welfare system is reformed and we're allowed to have actual high paying jobs while not risking the loss of like supplementary benefits or healthcare. And in fact, that's why I support stuff like universal healthcare. But regardless, like, even if that stuff did happen and we did start to actually have some economic independence away from the able bodied community, which doesn't exist now and it has never existed ever. Um, you know that they would still find a way to raise the bar, a bar which, isn't really raised that much for able bodied people or white people. It just isn't. I'm sorry. I know some people aren't gonna like me saying that, but especially in this climate, I feel like I have to say that. Um, and another big thing is that, people always talk about, oh, forgiveness and this and that. Well, I mean, in terms of disability, um, I have to be honest, on small things, like, let's say, you drop your wallet or you drop your. I use a fanny pack for my stuff most of the time at a store or whatever, you know, chances are someone sees that and they're gonna come and help you get it. Or if you drop change or whatever. And I don't want to sound ungrateful, because I do appreciate those little acts of kindness. They're important. But at the same time, when we're talking about deeper relationships, um, in which, um, like, forgiveness might be necessary. Let's say a disabled person does something wrong, as we all do. Um, you know, it's maybe a little bit counterintuitive, but I've experienced that people aren't willing to give you forgiveness because they hold you to such an unrealistic standard of sainthood. And that is a common thing for disabled people. People think we can do no wrong, which in itself is wrong, of course, because we're human beings and flawed just like everyone else. But yeah, people just won't forgive you for things that they will forgive able bodied people for. And once again, it's not that I don't think that disabled people, or all people for that matter, shouldn't hold themselves to high moral standards, but we deserve forgiveness, actual true forgiveness, and actual conditional help like everyone else every once in a while too. Um Same thing for Latinos. I mean, I know this is anecdotal, but it's like my mom has a friend, and there, due to recent events, there aren't that many Latino construction workers or landscapers left. And I have to be honest, they're hiring young gringo kids, bro, and they're not good at the landscaping work, my dog. And you know, my mom told one of her friends about it. And you know what this MF said? This MF said, "Oh, give them time to learn." I'm like, brothers, yeah, but oh, you mean that time you didn't give those migrants to you know make a buck here for jobs you didn't want to do? This is what I'm saying, right? Like, yeah, they'll praise us, they'll say whatever, but it's really because so that way they don't have to do the hard work of engaging with systemic issues, or maybe taking a look at the culture, taking a look at themselves. Um and look, guys, you know that I am not perfect. I feel like as much as it's capable through a screen, through a service like YouTube, I've tried to be as honest as possible with you guys about my flaws, and even videos that I no longer necessarily agree with or I think are cringe, I still leave up. I have never deleted a video. I have a few unlisted ones, but I've for the most part I've shared links to those for anyone who's wanted to see it. And it's just like, once again, you know, James Baldwin has that famous quote, I am not your black person. I am not your disabled person. I am not your cripple that you can, prance around and say, oh, look, he did it, so you can too. I mean, it's fine to be inspired, but again, it's about remembering that humans are humans, whether they have a disability or what ethnic background they come from. It doesn't matter. They're flawed and they are not perfect. They're never gonna be a model for whatever weird ideal of sainthood you have for the the disabled community, or for whatever ideal of blacks or Latinos or Asians that um don't have to force you to do the hard work of maybe going beyond the individual, which is something that I've, excuse me, also really, tried to, you know, counter on my channel. You guys know I care about community. You guys know that I think that Western society, especially North American society, I'm looking at you too, Canada. I'm not letting you guys off scot free. Is way too individualistic, and this type of thing only contributes to that. Yeah, anyway, rant over. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk once again. I do a few of these a year. Especially with things the way they are right now in the United States, I felt like I needed to make this. Alright, bye. Thank you, guys.